And we are back. It's week 10 of the NFL season. We've had an up and down year, Bish. You've had your very high spots. You've had a 3 out of 3, and we've had some low spots. 99% of me. So, Bish, you're keeping us going. It's been good. It's been interesting year. I think very unpredictable year, Bish. But yeah, give us where your head's at with everything going into week 10.
Yeah, we've seen a bit of a, like you said, a bit of a stop start first half of the year. A lot of low scoring games. It seems to be touchdowns are a bit of a rarity this year. But yeah, I'm starting to pull things back, starting to see what's happening out there. And I was 2 yards off a Jonathan Taylor carry from a full house last week as well. So just the 2 out of 3 pulled a unit back. And then that massive one, just Devontae Adams, just letting down the touchdown treble. So we're there or thereabouts, and we're chasing that full house again, and obviously that big touchdown treble. So yeah, week 10 hopefully is the week for us.
Yeah, we're into the second half of the season firmly now, and yeah, I think it's coming. Looking forward to the bets this week. I've done some deep diving on this week because I can't keep getting away with these feelings with a bit of stats. I've gone into the stats, Bish. I'm taking a page out of your book, and I'm hoping I can match it with a 3 out of 3 week to get my season going. However late we're into it. But Bish, I'm going to let you go first. Take us through your first bet.
My first one is the Cowboys over 27 team points. So the Cowboys to score over 27 points. And they went pretty close last week against the Eagles. Had the ball under 2 minutes, to get that, try and get that touchdown to win the game. Couldn't quite manage it. But I think just where the Cowboys are, they're generally against poorer teams, they get the job done. And they've just come unstuck against the better teams. So, this year they're coming up against the Giants. And this year they actually beat the Giants way back early on in the season, 40-0. Like I said, they've been pretty good against the poorer teams. The one blip was against the Cardinals that they lost early on, but they put 43 points on the Rams. As I said, 40 on the Giants, 38 on the Patriots, and 30 on the Jets as well. So the free flowing, the Dak had a pretty good game last week. CeeDee Lamb showing up now, and they're a fairly healthy team. And if we flip it onto the other side, the Giants, well, they're totally the opposite. They've just lost Daniel Jones to an ACL. They've got Tyrod Taylor, the backup quarterback on IR. So they've turned to Tommy DeVito and Matt Barkley backing him up. So Darren Waller's currently on injured reserve as well. So yeah, they're not doing too well. 2-7 on the year, and it's tough times for them. Saquon Barkley's pretty much having to do everything for them, and I just see this being a massive day for the Cowboys. A get right game, and a big day for their defense. I think their defense could score some points and win the game on their own this week. So yeah, I think the Cowboys to score a lot of points and over 27 team points for them.
What made you pick 27, Bish? I've got to ask. I totally agree. I think the plus minus on this is high, and I think Cowboys have got a 14-point start, haven't they, with the handicap?
I think yeah. Sorry to cut you off. It's just gone up to 17, the line, yeah. So, everyone's ploughing into the Cowboys at the minute. But the line was just what was set. It was set at 27. I've stuck to that. So, like I said, that they're over that quite consistently against these poorer teams. So, I can only see this being one way and getting ugly pretty quick, I think.
Yeah, can only agree, Bish. I think that's as safe as a house as bet as you. I think you've starting off the week with a confident one, an easy one, and let's get that in the bag because, yeah, Giants are just that, as you said, just that injured, aren't they? I think their season's over, Bish, and I think Cowboys are looking to not get it going because they're having a good year, but revive it and give it that playoff run that they want to have and get it going now. They've had a few bad results, haven't they? So against teams like this, they have to blow them out and they have to really make an impact. So yeah, more with you, Bish.
Nice, good start.
Yeah, well, I'll take you through my first bet. It's actually a double. I'm going doubles and trebles this week, and I'm going the New Orleans Saints -2.5 and under 41.5 points. This is against the Minnesota Vikings. We actually had a bit of a debate over this one before we come on, Bish. The stat that backs me up here is that the Saints are actually quite good at defending the pass. It's the one strong suit in defense against the rush. They're not very good, but at time and time again, if you watch our fantasy show and on the betting line, Mattison's not the best running back. They've lost Cam Akers. I don't think Mattison's the man to really exploit this Saints bad rush defense. As I said, where they are good though is against the pass. And sadly for Minnesota, that's the only place they're good. They've got Justin Jefferson, who's not back yet. There were some reports that he's getting there, but he's not quite back. It'd be Jordan Addison, a rookie. Even if he does do well, I can't see them. I just can't see Minnesota getting the offense going. I love the Josh Dobbs story. I think it was last week. I don't think this is the week for Josh Dobbs. I think the Saints will shut the Vikings down this game and get the points. I like the Saints have had a bad week last week against the Bears, as you pointed out. I always love them revival weeks. They've got a chance they've still got playoff hopes here, Bish. They've still got Michael Thomas, one of the best receivers in the game 3 or 4 years ago. He had a terrible week last week, a 0 receptioner. He'll be on again this week, and I think I think the Saints are coming.
Nice. Yeah, you've sold it well. You know, the first time I looked at this, I saw Vikings +2.5, and I thought, ooh, interesting. And so I think I had a slightly in the Vikings way, but like what you said is spot on. You know, obviously the Saints defense is top 7. You know, it's very good. The Bears put up 17 points last week. I'm not sure whether we can take much from that. I expected them to, the Saints to be a bit tighter than that against them. But as you said, a lot of weapons for Dobbs. I think Hawkinson is touch and go. I think he's got a rib injury, so I'd like to think he'll play. I think that's just a pain management sort of issue. So, but yeah, it'd be an interesting one. Sort of riding that emotion of last week. Obviously, the big Josh Dobbs game. Can they keep it going, or is it a crash back down to earth? We'll wait and see, and hopefully it's that crash back down to earth.
I think it's still got. I think the season's still got hope for Minnesota. I think there'll still be some massive moments that they'll pull off. I just think the matchup and the way the Saints need to get their season going. I know need to get it going. I think the Saints take this one, and I think they make an impact. I think defensively they'll shut down a lot of them other receivers on the team. Addison might get his moments because he's such a good receiver, but I don't think the others will. And I think overall, Saints will pull off a win, whether it's scary or not. I think defenses will show out, and I think I'll get this one in the bag and get ourselves a nice double to get the week going, Bish.
It'll be a nice start.
I'll take us through your second one, Bish.
My second one is, I've been going well with the team to win and a player prop. So again, I'm leaning on that one. I'm going with the Steelers to win and Deontay Johnson over 62.5 receiving yards. And this is a big one for me. This is quite high odds, which could claw a couple points back for me, which would be nice. And the Steelers, the 5-3 playing at home. I think I've talked in previous shows. I'm not sure how they're 5-3, if I'm honest. They've been beat on yardage in every game they've played this year, but somehow they've managed to win 5 of them. So, and at home, it's they're going to be pretty hard to beat at home. And coming up against the Packers, who I had to sit through the Rams v Packers last week, and that was a painful watch, if I'm honest. It was a tough game, a lot of errors, and to be fair, Jordan Love, he had a decent second half. He had a passer rating of 143 in that second half, so he was pretty much. Not far from from perfect in terms of stats wise, but I think just going back before this game, the Packers had lost the last 4 before coming up against the Rams, and the Steelers at home are a formidable task, and I think they'll have enough to win this game, and then just leaning on the on the prop on Deontay Johnson. He was actually injured in week 1. He did his hamstring in week 1, and he was on injured reserve, so he's missed quite. I think he missed 4 or 5 weeks, and he's played the last 3 games. Each week he's got better. He's had 79 yards, 85 yards, and 90 yards. And he's a number 1 target out there for Kenny Pickett. 14 receptions and 9 receptions in his last 2 games. And looking at the Packers, as I said, we'll take that Rams game out of it just because it was a bad weather game coming up against a backup quarterback for the Rams as well. The last 3 games before that, the Packers have played the Vikings. 3 pass catchers have hit this line, 2 against the Broncos and 1 against the Raiders. So that they're giving up yards there in that secondary. And I just think with the way the Steelers, Pickett is always looking for Deontay Johnson. There might be a little thing. George Pickens kicked off a bit in the media this week, or he said "free me" on his Instagram, deleted all his Steelers stuff. He had -1 receiving yards the last weekend, so that might be an issue. But I don't think the way Mike Tomlin is, I don't think he's a rah-rah guy. He's not going to feed Pickens the ball to keep him happy. He's going to, if anything, tell him to get back in his place. So I think it's normal service resumed here, and Deontay Johnson gets all the action. So it's Steelers to win, and Deontay Johnson over 62.5 receiving yards.
Yeah, I really didn't like them videos when he's not happy that Deontay got his first touchdown in about a season and a half.
Yeah.
I think what we can look at is, I know it's a different situation, different player, but what he did with Chase Claypool, who no nonsense traded him to the Bears, even when there was still some hope for Claypool, didn't they? They just got rid of him. Just didn't want that energy in the locker room. And if Pickens carries on, it can see him. He will get traded. He will get cut. I don't think they've got any time. They're a winning franchise. Whether they can go to the very tops, it might be like, as you've said before, it might be at their own detriment. They're a winning franchise, but 5-3, they do win. Yeah, Deontay Johnson's been awesome. I loved him last year. Last couple of years, I always tried to draft him. This year, with how late he would do back, I didn't. But yeah, wish I did. Wish I got him late on. I should have concentrated on that a bit more because, yeah, what a player. So yeah, Bish, like this one. Packers, what can you say about the Packers? Inconsistent, can't you? I think another inconsistent team. Had some brilliant games early on, played well against the Rams. I like Love as a quarterback. He just doesn't have that many weapons. I think that experienced Steelers defense will just have enough to slow the offense down. And yeah, I like it.
Nice. Two that you like. So
well, I like. I know. Always positive, me, Bish. Always positive. I'll whack on to my one. I've got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers -1.5 or -1, depending on the handicap. I did a bet builder, so it was -1.5. But I think the official odds are -1 if you just wanted to do that. But I've also got Mike Evans over 4.5 receptions. They're against the Tennessee Titans here. Risky one because the Titans have got Will Levis. They're riding the Will Levis train. But I think the Bucs have got enough. Baker's up and again. What a player that's up and down. I'm using the same taglines a lot today, but an up and down player. One thing I'm sure of though is Mike Evans is getting over 4.5 receptions. In the last few weeks, he's the only one against Buffalo that he only got 3. Otherwise, he's always over. There's been out of the 9 games he's not hit it 3 times. So 6 out of the 9 he's hit this mark. Tennessee, okay, not the best, quite bad passing defense actually over there. They're not the greatest. Mike Evans is the man. He's going to get 1,000 yards again. I'm confident of it. And I'm confident in the over 4.5 receptions. Tampa Bay, again, need to make that statement win. Tennessee aren't playing for loads, Bish. I don't really know what their plan is for the rest of the year because they've got a young quarterback now that they're giving a chance. I don't think they've got a chance in the playoffs. They might scrape it in depending on other results, but they're not doing too well on the year. What do you think, Bish? I think Tampa Bay have got more to play for here. Need this win even more, and I don't want to scrape this away.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I think what was something that was lost last week as well in all the CJ Stroud, obviously, Baker Mayfield actually led I say led, he led a 2-minute drive and took the lead for the Buccaneers, and he left 45 seconds on the clock, which obviously CJ Stroud then took advantage of. But they're going well. He's playing very well. And like you said about the Titans, I'm not really sure. Like the 3-5, the bottom of the South, I don't really think there's much for them. Like you said, Will Levis is coming in. I think the talk was that they wouldn't trade Derrick Henry. He's going to be a Titan till he's done, I believe. But yeah, it's a bit of a funny one. I think they'll stick with Will Levis now and see what they get. But I like this one. Yeah, like you said, I think the Bucks have just got more to play for, more on the line, and Mike Evans will always get his. So yeah, I think this is a good one.
I like it, Bish. Yeah, we'll leave it there. We'll leave it with a bit positive. Take us through your third of the week, Bish.
My third of the week is the Raiders. It was money line, but just before we come on, the line's actually changed, and the Raiders are being back now, so it's the Raiders -1. So that's it's but it's one. It's that Antonio Pierce bounce. The acting coach has come in. You see him in press conferences, and he's got the Raiders chant going. Everyone likes him. He's got the practice squad on the sidelines, which doesn't happen. But he's saying that it's all we're all one team. So he's bringing the fun back, and it's funny. I sort of went through this a little bit at Wakefield. We had Brian Smith, and we weren't doing very well, and we had a coaching change. Chris Chester comes in, and everything's fun. It just brings a bit of fun, a bit of competition into the squad, and all of a sudden everyone's bouncing, confidence comes, and wins are coming. And I think the Raiders here are exactly the same. And I think the biggest matchup in this one against the Jets is they're both very good defenses. The Jets' defenses has been keeping them in games and been winning them games really. The linebacking core they've got CJ Mosley, 82 tackles on the year. Quincy Williams, 74 tackles on the year, and Jermaine Johnson's their pass rusher. He's got 4.5 sacks as well. So they're coming after the quarterback. And on the other side, you've got Max Crosby, who's pretty much playing every snap going. He must be the fittest defensive player on the in the NFL. He's playing every snap. He's second in sacks. He's got 9.5 sacks this year. And I think the only difference in these two teams, I just think the Raiders are a better attacking team. The Jets O-line is, I'm looking for a word without being offensive, but it's not very good. And even with Rodgers at centre, I think they would struggle at times. But the Raiders, we've got Josh Jacobs. Pierce has said he wants to run the ball. He got 26 carries last week. And we've got Devontae Adams and, some other bits as well, Jacoby Myers. So I just think that's the difference in this one. The Raiders at home bouncing, and I just think they're more capable of scoring points here. So, yeah, the Raiders -1.
I like it, Bish. I'm actually just going to load up. Before we had our little pre-show meeting, I had Josh Jacobs touchdown and Raiders to win. So I'm doubling up with you, Bish. It's not an official bet, I'm going to say, but just to give it more support, I think I can't see the Raiders losing this one. I think the Jets sadly have to wait for Rodgers to come back. Like I said, they don't offer much on offense. And defensively, I think the Raiders will just have enough. They're riding that. The confidence thing's just massive. The Jets aren't amazing against the run, actually. They're very good in pass coverage. Obviously, one of the top 3 or 4 teams in the league on pass coverage, but against the run, I was quite surprised that they're quite low down. I did the stats earlier. They're in the bottom 15 teams. I think that suggests to me they're going to get Josh Jacobs going again like they did last week with the 2 touchdowns and everything going forward. So, yeah, I think Raiders will edge this one up in probably a tight game. We'll see a lot of Jacobs, but I think we'll get the win on this one.
And just a little side note as well, I think what leaked just after the trade deadline is the Jets actually asked for Devontae Adams, I believe. So let's Devontae Adams go off this game. A couple of touchdowns maybe.
Yeah, normally what happens. I'll on my final one. I'm back. I'm back in the UK, so I've got my Bet365 bet. I'm going for the sponsorship, and we're getting there. Yeah, I saw this one. I looked through them all this week, and I saw this one, and it really stood out to me. It's obviously the Atlanta versus the Cardinals game. Cardinals up and down. Not that I think that they've got absolutely nothing to play for. They're tanking. And I saw this, and I'm all over it. I've already put the bet on because I know these sometimes go on and off. So hopefully, by the time this show's out, it's still on. I've got Bijan, so it's Bijan Robinson over 50 yards. I think with the latest news, they have to give Bijan the ball. They have to let him run. He's that talented. He looks that good when he does run. I think it's his game against the Cardinals. They'll let him go. They'll release him, and I think it's on. And then obviously the risky part of this is Taylor Heineke, 250 plus yards and 1 passing touchdown. Well, he's hit the passing touchdown in his 2 games so far, and he's 1 out of 2 on the 250 passing yards. I think he's opened up this offense slightly. It's not off the charts. They're not breaking any records. But Tennessee in his first game back, that's when he didn't do it. He got 175 yards and a touchdown. Against Minnesota, 268 yards and a touchdown. I think they're working on their offense this game. They've actually got credible playoff chances to reach the playoffs. People are doubting them. I think they'll use this game to get Taylor, whichever one it is, to get going on that offense. Obviously, they've got some weapons. Drake London is reportedly going to be back. He's trained this week in a limited fashion. Obviously, Jonnu Smith, the tight end that no one respected going into this year, is actually been the number one. Never mind Kyle Pitts. The tight ends are going. I think they'll have and obviously they've also got Tyler Algier, who I like a lot. I think they'll use this game to get their offense going, and that's why I think a big game from Taylor. Doing another 250 plus game. Bijan, they've got to. It'll be ridiculed to that. It might be fireable the way they're treating him so far. So yeah, I think they'll get him going. I've never been more confident in a bet boost in my life, Bish. So hopefully I did this before. I put a bet boost out, and then I went to put it on the day of the thing, and it changes bet boost. I didn't know they do. So yeah, get it on as soon as you see this, lads, because this is my bet boost of the season.
Nice, I like it. And to be fair, you've hit some of these, haven't you? But they've been Thursday night games, because I remember you've picked them, but they've been Thursday. So, but yeah, no, I like this one. Like you said, Arthur Smith in press conferences, as you know, he's been getting a rough deal, and deservedly, really. You know, I expect Bijan to get a heavy load of the ball this week and do some damage. And Heineke, yeah, he got it last week against the Vikings. This week, I think it all depends on what the Cardinals are up to. You know, Kyler Murray's reportedly back in the game. Can he score some points for the Cardinals to keep the Falcons throwing the ball? You know, it'll be interesting. Like you said, Drake London coming back obviously helps massively, gives him his big target to throw to. So yeah, this is a game that I'm sort of looking forward to and seeing what the both teams are about, really. Like you said, the Falcons are still in the playoff race. Very talented team, and you know, it'll be interesting to see what Kyler Murray gets up to. So yeah, a good game to watch, and hopefully we'll watch the bet boost fly in.
I like it, Bish. I appreciate the confidence you've just given me. We do have another European game, so we've done a special for them all. Bish, I'll let you take us through them. Yeah,
we've got the second game in Frankfurt. That's last week's that one. That's Dolphins Chiefs up there. But it's Colts Patriots this week. We'll get it.
I'll have a look now.
Technical. But yeah, it's the Colts Patriots, and you know, the Patriots are pretty good in the overseas games. I don't think they've been beat, but these two teams, it's pretty similar. Like I think they're both there or thereabouts, pretty similar, close together. The Colts are actually quite a good scoring team that I didn't notice actually. There we are. It's up.
we're
The
all
Colts and Patriots, and the Colts are actually ranked 7th in scoring. They average 25 points a game, and my selection for this one is the Colts -1.5, simply based on that. Both defenses are pretty poor. Colts ranked 28th, the Pats 26th. But the biggest thing for me is the Pats, the second to last in scoring. They're ranked 31st. They only average 15 points a game, and I just think they're going to need a lot more than that. The way the Colts have been playing lately to try and keep up. So the Colts, we've seen Jonathan Taylor back in action, running the ball really well. Gardner Minshew, if they keep a lid on him and just ask him to do what's needed rather than trying to, throw your Hail Marys, home runs, I think they can make their way through this game. So yeah, the Colts -1.5 for me.
I like it, Bish. I'm with you. I think the Colts take this one. That rushing attack with Zach Moss and Jonathan Taylor, just unbelievable. Taylor's now taking over that backfield, but we saw how good Zach Moss was anyway. So yeah, completely with you. I think the Colts edge this one and get their season going for sure. I'll take you through my one, Bish. A bit of a fun one for the viewers on a Sunday afternoon. We're a bit bored and they want something to pay attention to. I've got Gardner Minshew over 3.5 rushing yards. I think the line might be 4 or 4.5 rushing yards now, so they're not the only person to apparently get this little fun one. I think with the way New England defend, it's they chuck different coverages at you. They change up a lot. They hide a lot of things. I think it causes scrambles. It's very scrambly, and I think that means Minshew's going to get some rushing yards. He actually got 29 rushing yards against Cleveland in Week 7. He got 3 in Week 8 against New Orleans, but he hit this line and got 5 rushing yards against Carolina. So he's there or thereabouts most week he plays. For me, Bish, just a fun one. I think, as I said, New England chuck a lot of different looks at you, and I think that will lead to, apart from the rushing game, they're gonna completely try to lock down them running backs as best they can. Obviously, Michael Pittman does an okay job at wide receiver, but I think there'll be a few times where they fake it out. Pittman or whoever's out there is going to be covered. And we'll just see Heineke go on a few runs. He's a dog. What the Americans call a dog. He'll do what he has to win. And I think there'll be a couple of times in this game that he'll have to run. He's looking out there and it's not open, a bit of a bootleg, and that he'll make up 5 or 6 yards on a couple of runs here. And I think, yeah, a fun one. Gardner Minshew over 3.5 rushing yards.
I like it. Like you said, it only takes one. Such a low number there. It just takes one effort and it's home. Hopefully, you don't take up too much lost yardage on sacks. But yeah, one big run and it's in the bag.
Brilliant. And then Bish, take us through tags.
Yeah, tags. So tags touchdown selection is Ramondre Stevenson, the running back for the Patriots. So yeah, I think he's been coming into his own a little bit. We said earlier on in the year we're a bit confused with him splitting carries with Zeke Elliott, and it seems to be he's found his form and he's hitting the ground running. So yeah, Ramondre Stevenson there, the only Patriots selection of the 3. So hopefully he can get that early, get it out of the way, and then we can see plenty of the Colts.
Yeah, a bit of an interesting one that from Tag. He's been up and down on his touchdowns, and I think he's only on 3 rushing touchdowns for the season. Receiving, non-receiving, but this will hopefully be the game. They've been getting a lot better, New England, on offense, haven't they? That's the one positive I'll give them, and hopefully Ramondre can get that one. He got one last week against Washington, as you said, so hopefully he carries on this good momentum and gets another touchdown for the treble. And Bish, you take us through it. We've got Tag's touchdown treble to finish us off.
The week 10 treble, hoping to get all 3, one better than last week. We've got Joe Mixon for the Bengals. We've got Sam Laporta for the Lions and Calvin Ridley for the Jaguars. So yeah, we've got the old running back, wide receiver and tight end. So a mixture for Tag. And I'm liking this one. You know, Joe Mixon against the Texans. Texans have got a lot of injuries at the minute. I think 23 players injured. I read in the press conference. So, you know, that's Joe Mixon finding his form a little bit, and Sam Laporte has been having a great season and scored a few with the Lions. So off a bye, hopefully that one can go, and we hopefully we see that Trevor Lawrence and Calvin Ridley combination against the 49ers. So yeah, fingers crossed for landing that one. We'll have a price on that on Sunday. That'll be up on socials. So yeah, good luck getting on that.
The odds on that one must be big, Bish. Ridley's on 2 touchdowns for the year. Sam Laporta's obviously been really good, to be fair. Mixon should be near as sure bet as you can for the Bengals game. But yeah, I'm interested in the Ridley pick. I wish maybe Tag can give us a bit on Instagram and give a bit of explanation, because the odds. I think the odds will be big. I think the odds will be big on this one.
Yeah, quite. Yeah, I think there will be. They'll definitely be higher than last week. So, and like you said, it's just one. We need one to hit, and you know, we're good for the season.
Yeah. But other than that, Bish, is there anything else you want to bring up? I think a good week. We've had lots of interesting bets to go out there. I'm gonna go at yours. I'm on Tags one. I'm a bit. I'm excited to see the odds on Tags, but yeah, let's have it and let's have a good week. Bish, take us through whatever you want to finish the show off.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Some good matchups, some interesting matchups with a lot at stake. So yeah, should be fun to watch. And like you said again, we get that 2:30 game, so that's, you know, potentially 14, 15 hours a game. So yeah, looking forward to that. But yeah, please, we're on the socials, YouTube. Please subscribe, like, help us, you know, share our videos out there and touch a few more people and get that community going. We're on TikTok, X, as I keep calling it Twitter, so it's X. Yeah, Instagram. So yeah, we're on them all. And if you do listen on Spotify, a review would be nice as well. So, but yeah, keep watching. Plenty of content coming, and you know, if you've got any friends who might be interested, pass it on as well, please.
Let's go, Bish. Week 10. Let's have it. Let's have it. I will see you on Sunday, Bish, when we're celebrating a great weekend.
Can't wait.